Perashat Vaera. This is what we are going to read this coming Shabbat. So, Derech Agab, this is not my main topic. However, I want to share with you an idea that always felt that I am at odd with many of the Mefarshim on this issue that Rashi said v'daber Elokim el Moshe, beginning of the Torah, daber oto mishpat al sheksha ledaber velomar lama hariot al amazed, that he was talking to him. V'daber means that harshly. He talked to him harshly that how come you did damage to the people. You didn't help them. You made the things worse. Why did you send me? This is what Moshe said in last parasha. And then Hashem told him, "V'yomer Hashem el Moshe, Ata tare asher aseh leParao, that I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to Paro. Ki biyad hazakah shalachem, biyad hazakah yagarashem me'artzo, that is going to let them go with biyad hazakah, with strong hand." So I always thought that it is, we blame Moshe, that he doubts Hashem. Abraham did the same thing. He said when Hashem told him that you are going to have children and you are going to have Eretz Israel, Abraham asked him, how would I know that I'm going to give it to me? Incidentally, that when he told him that I'm going to send you Yitzhak, he didn't doubt, he didn't question at all. But when he said, when it come to having Eretz Israel, he asked him why, how I would know. And then Hashem told him that and so on and so forth. He did Brit Ven Abetarim, and that is the first covenant between Hashem and the Jewish nation. We didn't blame Abraham at all. Last parasha, also in Shemot, Miriam said, that she stood far for her to know what's going to happen to him. What does it mean what's going to happen to him? Apparently there is a Talmud, and I didn't read it from the Talmud. Unfortunately, I don't have time. However, in Art Scroll it says that in Talmud Sota it says that she prophesies Hitnab'ah that he's going to be Moshiach Shel Israel, that Hashem is going to save the people of Israel through Moshe. So she knew that he's going to be somebody who will have great mission, but she wanted to know how it is going to come about, how it's going to be fulfilled. And here Moshe, he said the same thing. I mean, we can't blame him. He told him, okay, yeah, that since you sent me, things got worse. They used to give them hay, now they don't give them hay. They have to go collect it and do the same thing. He's like asking him, okay, you see what happened to them? So the human person will expect that, you know what, I'm going to show you. And this is exactly what was the intention of Hashem, that he realized what at the beginning of the mission, the se'ah of Bnei Israel did not nitmal'ah, that of Mitzrayim did not nitmal'ah, that they did not became very, very bad, that he will save the Bnei Israel biyad hazakah. Now that the Rashut became a lot worse, and he's going to save them. And in fact, what Moshe expected did happen. Immediately Hashem told him that I'm going to save them and I'm going to show you. And from here we see how the Aiser Makot, the 10 plagues started, and then how the Jews left Egypt. So it's perfect. I never thought that I would doubt the intention of Moshe. Since I was a little child and until now, I felt that it is Oleh B'Karnei Ehad with Abraham Abinu, with all others. Because Hashem, he wants to have Kabiachol good reputation. Moshe used that many times, that Lama Yomiru Mitzrayim Bera'ah Hotziam, and Hashem listened to him because he is the God of goodness, of everything is good. Hasbi Halila, that he will cause something bad to come to any person or any entity. Now, we started the Makot, and Paro, he did have them, Sephardiya, we know them. In this parasha, we have 7 out of the 10 Makot in Parashat Vaera. And every time we would at the end, ויחזק לפרעה, or ויחזק השם לפרעה, ורשת בני ישראל, and it will go again. So any normal person would say that, I mean, is he crazy? Is he stupid? I mean, didn't he see? In fact, his own advisor told him in Parashat Bo, until when this is going to be a stumbling thing. Send them already. You didn't realize that Mitzrayim is gone. Because they have, with Isaiah they wrote, it was the economy was decimated, human suffering unbelievable. A lot of people died from all the kind of plagues, and he said, but you know, I won't say them. Is that stupid? I mean, we realize that he is stupid. We talk about Paro, that this is something only Paro can do. The truth is, if we look into ourselves, each one of us does have his own Paro. We behave in many aspects in our daily life exactly like Paro. We'll take an example. Some people get up late, and then they have to rush through everything. They forget stuff. They scream at their spouses. They scream at their children. And after few terrible exchange between him and his co-workers or his boss, or he realized that, you know what, it could have been all avoided if I got up from bed only 10 minutes earlier. And from now on, I'm going to get up early. What happened next day? Same thing. The same thing was if things don't get worse. And what happened 20 years from that day? Same thing. So somebody will realize that, you know what, it's costing me stress, anxiety, loss of money, most importantly, tension in the family and in the workplace. Is it worth it? But we don't learn the lesson. On the way to work, he's speeding because he had a late start. He get caught by the police, and the flashing light will come, and then he realizes he pay a couple of $100, he get a few points, his insurance rate will go higher. They say, you know what, it's not worth it. I'm going to drive slowly. I'm going to drive speed limit. And then on the way back, he's on the telephone. He speeds up. It speeds up again, and nothing happened. The next day, next week, he will get another ticket, and he will have the same determination that I am going to be good, but nothing happened. So this is something that we every one of us experience. In the medical field, I read a study that included about 820,000 people who stopped smoking while they were in the hospital. In the hospitals in the last 10 years, you can't smoke. There is no way. So to prevent withdrawal, they give people patch and patch of nicotine, and when they have the nicotine, they are good. They say, you know what, it prevents withdrawal. And so they asked them, the study was that they asked them to see what is the behavior of those people when they were in the hospital and when they go home. About the vast majority, more than 90%, they say, you know what, we are not going to smoke. Khalas, we finished. However, they get, and usually they are admitted either for heart attack or for emphysema or for bronchitis or pneumonia, all many disease that they are directly related to the smoking. They go out of the hospital, they found out that 40% they start to smoke before they get home. On the way home, they ask their family member, stop by Wawa or by the supermarket to buy cigarette, and they start lighting up. Within a week, 70% start to smoke again, and within a year, more than 90%. Literally, all of them are back to smoke. This is a very significant study because it almost included a million person. So that will show us that there is Pharao in everyone. I mean, they were in the hospital on the verge of dying, and they go to do the same thing. They did also study on drug addicted persons. They go through the rehabilitation. A year later, 55% of them do relapse. And also here, they were in very bad situation, in and out of the emergency room or in prison. They do the same thing. So here, the message to our young people, that these two things, smoking a drug, don't start them, because once you do, the relapse rate is extremely, extremely high, and the price that will cause is very, very, very high. In weight management, the same thing. They do know that obesity can cause all the bad things: diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer of the breast, of the bladder, of the colon, and besides not looking good and high cholesterol. And they listen to lecture, they go to Weight Watcher, they do things. However, it's the same thing. Like in Arabic, say, رجعت حليمة لعادة القديمة. Nothing happened. Anger management, the same thing. So that in reality, we can see that each one of us does have Pharao. So what we are going to do about that? That we have to realize that we have Pharao in ourselves. If we have that, who wants to have Pharao in himself? No one does. Pharao is the symbol of ego. That he's God. And when somebody has ego, nothing will be big for him. He's the one who said, "Mi Hashem asher eshma b'kolo." We have when we have this attitude, we can never improve. We have to realize that there is a bad element in us. Once we realize that, Rudy Giuliani, I remember once he said, to resolve a problem, once we have to define that we have a problem and what the problem is. We have to realize that we have Pharao in ourselves. So with that, that would be the first step to do that. I do agree that change is very, very difficult. In fact, for a long time I realized that it is probably genetically determined, but the weight and the anger, that it has something to do with the genes. There are certain family that they have that. However, this does not mean that we should not try. In fact, we should realize that this is our challenge. That this once we realize, we take it as a challenge, it will be much easier for us to change. So we cannot blame only Pharao. We have to have good lesson from Parashat Vaera. We have to look at ourselves. This is another aspect of somebody look at himself, that he was enslaved. In fact, many of us are still enslaved to bad habits, and we hope that Hashem will help us to be free of those bad habits. And we end like with the last pasuk of the Haftarah that came from Yehezkel. B'ma hu asmiach keren lebet Israel, ולך אתם תחום פה בתוכם וידעו כי אני השם. Shabbat, that at that time I'm going to give strength and teferet and glory to the Jewish people, and everyone will know that I am God. Shabbat shalom.